Where's my coffee? Oh shoot, already rolling, I forgot. I thought I was gonna wait until people start coming in first and then start the live. But what's going on? If you guys are watching post live, this is gonna be up for 24 hours only. So I'd say 1 p.m. PST tomorrow. This should have disappeared. So I usually don't like to leave live stuff on my channel for too long because it kind of like clutters stuff. So yeah, definitely. Steve, what's going on, man? Steve, you're everywhere. What are you doing right now, Steve? What time is it over there? All right, AR XV. I'm pretty sure that's a Roman numeral number. I just don't know what it is. 15, right? AR 15. There we go. Wow, 34 people watching. Woo! I wasn't supposed to go live today, but I'm bored. I have to clean my house later, and that's not fun. So kind of just want to be in a good mood, talk to people first, and then jump into cleaning my house. I don't know how many of you out there, but who suck at cleaning, because I suck at cleaning so bad. Takes me like a day. 21 o'clock. That's what, 9 p.m. What's going on? What's going on, Bo? Coffee. I'm basic. This is a grande hot latte from Starbucks. Very basic stuff. My stomach's not going to agree with me later, but it tastes good. I like it. I used to work near this amazing coffee shop called Alfred's Coffee House. Alfred's Coffee. I don't know. It's a very hipster place. Charged like $5 for a latte. I unfortunately don't work near there anymore, so I can't get that latte, but it's so good. Yeah, we're gonna jump into why I'm selling my 85 in just a bit. So I'm gonna give about another 3 minutes for people to come settle in. Let's see here. Jumping into the chat. Davidson, what's up, man? Hi from Croatia. Croatia? Is that how you say it? Croatia? Jay, Kavi, welcome back. Another live. Dang it, I suck at this chat thing again. Another live to what we owe this great pleasure to. Nothing, just bored. Alex, Rio de Janeiro from Brazil. Awesome. How's it going? Franklin, I thought you only buy gear. Yeah, I do. I have a reason. I have a reason for this. I have a reason for selling this. Let's see here. LJ, perfect time. I just arrived at apartment from work. Did you just get off work, LJ? Jose, my wife says I suck at cleaning. Yep. This is the problem. Both me and Vivian, we suck at cleaning. So it's gonna be an issue when we start getting a place together. If you guys didn't know, we are not moved in together yet. We're still living separately, but in the talks, in the plans of getting a place. Hopefully, I'll steal the living room to be my studio set. AR-15, I think you asked me that yesterday about the insane rent in the neighborhood. I don't know. I forgot to ask Vivian, but if she's on right now, maybe she can tell you. I don't know. Awesome. So no, what if ask Jason, are you doing a live auction? No, I'm not. I don't want to get anybody hopes up that I'm selling my stuff on the internet. It is super unsafe to sell things on the internet without eBay. If you're not doing it through eBay or some sort of like safety transaction kind of thing. So just really quickly, if you are selling anything on eBay and someone's asking you to sell it, they'll pay you through PayPal, but the delivery will be locally. Don't ever do it. Don't ever do that. If they buy it off eBay, you need to like ship it to them. It needs to have that tracking confirmation where they actually receive the product in hand, because if you deliver it to them and there's like no receipt, no proof that it has made it into their hands, PayPal will think that, well, PayPal will favor the buyer's side and reimburse their money. So you'll be out of your money and whatever you're selling. So just a quick tip out there. If you're ever buying anything or selling anything locally, just try to get cash or through some sort of like payments that's like safe. That'd be my advice. You know what? I have sold something to one of my subscribers. He met up with me, and I was like, okay, make sure you bring your camera to like really test out the lens. I was selling my 35-1.4, the lens that I regret selling. So I gave him, like, I was like, all right, man, here's the box, here's the lens. Please mount it onto your camera and make sure everything works. And he was like, no, man, I watched your YouTube. I trust you. And I was like, that's too much trust, man. You gotta try this lens. I need you to try it in front of me in order for me, like, you know, feel like, have a peace of mind that you're receiving something that you're getting. You know, you're spending $1,000. You better double check. So he didn't bring his camera to try it out. I don't know. I guess being a YouTuber, you guys automatically trust me. If I ever sell anything to you guys, please bring a camera to try it out. But yeah, I am gonna be selling my 85 locally. So if you live in LA, just watch out for the listing. It should be coming up maybe in a week or so. So let's go back to the comment really quick. Let's see here. I'll do some Q&A afterwards too. I don't imagine me talking about selling my 85 is going to take too long, so I'm going to talk about why I'm selling it, and then I'll jump into some Q&A. So hold off on the questions, and I'll definitely jump into it. And I'll stay on live for maybe like the next 45 minutes. So LJ is saying, don't sell your 85 G Master, man. Sell your 100 STF. I don't have the 100 STF. I rented. Technically, I borrowed from Sony Pro Support, so I actually don't have it. It was a good trial with the 100 STF, but it really wasn't for me. And if you guys watched the 100 STF video that I made, like, I guess there's a comment that someone left me that made a very interesting point. They're saying like how a lot of, I don't want to generalize it. He's just saying like Americans tend to really think of the 100 STF lenses as really a portrait lens, but if you like look into the Asian culture, they really look, instead of looking at it as a portrait lens, they're looking at it as the lens as a whole, or something like tech, composition, the elements, and all that stuff to really produce images. So if you actually look into a lot of the images that are taken with 100 STF in the Asian countries, they're not necessarily portraits, but like maybe food, maybe flowers, you know, just sort of like other things that are not portraits. So I just thought that was very interesting. Have no idea what I'm really talking about with 100 STF, so let's just go ahead and move on before I embarrass myself. So why am I selling my 85 G Master? Well, I love it. I love it to death. Seriously, guys, the 85 1.4 is an amazing lens. I got it. I'm very happy with it. Unfortunately, I haven't been using it all that much lately. I really want to shoot a lot more portraits. You know, people like Manny, Francisco, Keedron, they inspire me. They really make me want to go out to shoot more portrait stuff. Even the friends that I've met in Vegas, you know, Mike, if you're on, Mike, Leo, you know, they really, like, seeing them just shoot so much portrait, you know, just makes me really want to go out and do it. But the fact of the matter is, I don't get a lot of photo gigs, which makes me really sad. I think a lot of people really just come to me for video. They don't really necessarily think I'm a photographer. So the gigs that are coming in really just aren't photography for me. It's mainly video. So my 85 1.4 is just pretty much just sitting in my drawer. And as you guys know, oh, actually it's not sitting in my drawer. It's right here. I brought it out. Hey, little guy, how's it going? The 85 G Master right here. So if you guys been following my Instagram story, and yeah, pretty much I only talked about it on my Instagram story, but I picked up the 85mm f1.8. I got it used, open box at Best Buy, and here's a hidden gem. Well, not really a hidden gem. I think a lot of people know this already, but if you live near a Best Buy, usually they have a open box section. Just go ahead and check it out from time to time, because you'd be surprised what has been returned and how good of a condition that they're in. So I actually picked up my 85 1.8. Someone returned it, and they were pricing it for like $489, which is about almost like $100 off. So I politely asked the Best Buy crew, I was like, hey, How much is that? Can you discount the 85 1.8 even more for me? And they're like, yeah, you know, like name your price. And I was like, I don't know. Can you like make it $30 off? I was so dumb. I should have like, I should have asked for like a lower price. But you know what? They were cool. They were chill with it. So they lowered it to like 450 with tax and everything. It ended up being like 490. So I got it at a really good deal. I pretty much saved how much did I really save? Over $100 getting that lens, and it's like almost brand new. I was so shocked. So I got the 85 millimeter 1.8, and to be honest with you guys, that's a really good lens just for video work. You know, like if I need to, it's getting dark here. If I need to shoot portraits, I mean, the 85 1.8 is sufficient. If you guys watched my video on the 85 1.8 where I was shooting the cosplayers at that Comic-Con, I forgot what it's called. I'm blanking out. WonderCon. If you guys remember that video, I was so thoroughly impressed with the results that I was getting with the 1.8. So yeah, it sucks. It's not the 1.4, the bokeh, the out of focus, the little balls. They're not as round as the 1.4. You know, you get little cat-shaped eyes. But you know what? Since I don't shoot that much portraits anyway, I think it's okay for me to part with the G Master right here. Like, I'm really bummed about it. To be honest, I was thinking about selling this right after I got the 85, but because it's a 1.4 lens and I really, really want to hold on to it, to my dear life to it, that I want to keep it. But I'm thinking it's best to probably part with this. With that said, I'm thinking about getting the Zeiss 135 millimeter f2.8. That's right. I'm thinking heavily on getting the Zeiss 135 millimeter f2.8 just to try. I don't know. I played with it at NAB. It was super light. And I know a lot of people were complaining that the lens is 2.8, but again, I'm thinking of it from a video perspective. You know, like if I'm out traveling, I got a gig in France coming up. I'm shooting a wedding in France, so I want to be able to bring not a lot of gear, but be able to bring, you know, pack to where everything would fit into one bag, the carry-on bag, and just be able to get the wide, the medium, and the far coverage with stuff. So I don't want to be bringing my 70-200. That's freaking heavy. So this is all crazy talk right now. This is just me just spewing, you know, what I think about every day. You know, this is a constant debate that I'm having every day. Like, what should I get next? You know, how is this going to benefit me? Should I sell this? Should I sell that? Should I get this or should I get that? So this is really like my thought process right now. So nothing is really conclusive. Nothing is like very solid. But I'm thinking about getting the Zeiss 135. I just really love the compression, the look of the 135 it gives off. So that's the plan. I'm not too quite sure yet if I'm able to sell this. I'm hoping to be able to get, I don't know, how much is this right now? 1800 USD. Let me double check. Let's see here. Yeah, about 1800 USD. If I can sell it for, whoops. If I can sell it for, I don't know, 1,600, 1,500, you know, I will have to just supplement $500 to the Zeiss. So we'll see, you know, we will see. As you guys know, I have the 18 millimeter Batis f2.8. I love that lens. I love that wide angle lens. If you guys have followed me for a while, you guys know that I had the 16-35 f4 somewhere in the beginning, and I eventually sold it because the f4 just wasn't working out for me, you know, in like low light conditions. It's just the f4 just kind of tanks. So having the 18 millimeter 2.8 is awesome, you know. And when I mount the 16-35 on a gimbal, because of the balance issue, I'm not exactly as wide on a 16. I'm pretty much in between 18-20 on a gimbal with the 16-35 anyways. And I don't really zoom to 35 using the 16-35 anyway. So logistically, and what makes sense to me was just to get the 18 millimeter Batis f2.8, try it out and see. And you know what? It worked out for me. It's one of my favorite lenses thus far, and it's the one that I use almost constantly. like any gimbal work, I would slap on the 18mm, or I use my friend Eric's 25mm Batis. So the Batis lenses are amazing. I really, really love them, and I'm hoping the 135 will impress me just as the 18 and the 25 will. So I'm not saying the 135 from Zeiss is going to be the most amazing thing ever, but I definitely want to give it a shot and give you guys that user experience review once I get it, try it out, and see if it all works. So let me go ahead and jump into the chat really quick. I got 82 people watching and only 6 likes. If you guys can do me a huge favor and just give some thumbs up to this video, show some love, that would be terrific. So a lot of questions. Let me just jump into the chat really quick. I'm just gonna randomly pick something, so because I know I'm gonna lose where I am at some point. Let me silence my phone. Funny thing, I was trying to do a live with the phone and the Zhiyun Smooth 3, but I couldn't get the custom live setting to work through the app, so I'm just doing it through my MacBook right now. What a shame, though. The reason why it didn't work was because I punched in the RMTP link that's supposed to feed the signal to YouTube, but it's not giving me an option to punch in the streaming key, which is the password to give access. Excuse me. Whoa, that's embarrassing. Ignore that. But that key allows me to stream to YouTube, and it's not working. I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to June about it. Okay, let's see here. So let me get through some of the comments and questions about the 85 and the Zeiss first, and then I'm gonna jump into the open Q&A. I hope you guys enjoy these sort of live shows, because this is me being raw. Hehe, raw. You guys are seeing me just spewing, talking a lot, and pretty much uncensored. Uncut, uncensored, raw, I don't know. But yeah, let's see here. Big Oil 7, no way would I sell my 1.4 G Master, best lens for both my A6500 and A7R2. And again, this is an amazing lens. No doubt, no question about it. I love it so much. But I also have to look from the perspective of how productive I can be with these lenses. And I was looking at my 35 1.4, the Zeiss one, the one I sold. I was looking at it really hard, and I was like, am I gonna be as productive with this lens, or is it just gonna sit there and be a fun lens for me? Like, oh, you know what? Here's something that I didn't share with you guys. I actually sold the Zeiss 35 1.4 to get the Sigma 20mm 1.4 with the MC11 adapter. That's why at some point I had the MC11 adapter. But I got it because I was like, you know, I'm really curious. I really love wide angle and fast aperture lenses, but unfortunately, you know, after going to NAB and coming back, you know, I started like really thinking like, what direction should I take my YouTube channel and all that stuff. The gears that I have, will I be really productive with them? So unfortunately, the 20mm 1.4 Sigma, it was just a fun lens. So was the 35mm 1.4. I couldn't justify keeping it because I know I won't be as productive. So I ended up selling it. I got the RX 105, the Zhiyun Crane M, and that's pretty much it. So I swapped that out. I sold those just so I can get the RX 105 and the Crane M. So with those combination, I was able to get a lot more done. I get a lot more work done than I would have had if I was using the 20mm or the 35mm. I'm shooting more BTS for the channel. I'm shooting when I'm at weddings, I can just easily pull out my RX 100 and start shooting behind the scenes. Behind the screen as well. It was making my life so much easier to be able to document and be able to use that B-roll later to craft together a user experience review. So I'm just looking at a productive standpoint for these lenses. So if this was a lens that made me super productive, I'm able to use this almost every week, no doubt going to keep it, but unfortunately not. But there are times where I do need the the 85. So that's why that's the purpose. That's gonna be the purpose for the 85 1.8. Pat, what's up, man? my homie right here. It's like an end of an era, kind of, not really, but you know, if it's not going to be the end. I'm not saying goodbye completely, because if I do sorely miss it a lot, I'm sure I'll pick it up again. It's not going to be a big deal. It's not going to be hard to get the 85 1.4 G Master now, because it's been out for a while. Not like when they were first released. It's such a hot commodity that everyone's getting it and you can't buy it anymore. Speaking of which, the 85 1.8, it's still sold out everywhere. One of my second shooter that I just met, that I just worked with, Lewis, he was telling me he couldn't find the 85 1.8 anywhere. So such a hot commodity right now. But I know for sure G Master now, it's easier to cop. Trevor Walker, I just got my Sony Pro Support membership. It was because of your video. Thanks so much. You're welcome, Trevor. I hope you send in some good words for me to the Sony Pro Support guys. Trung and Johnny, they do an amazing job out there. Whew. The film guys, what do the viewers think of the Sony 85mm 1.8? So the film guys are asking you a question. Let us know in the chat. What do you think about it? AR15, open box is the best. Don't let that secret out. I'm sorry. You know what? There's only 82 people watching right now. Only 82 people know about the Best Buy open box. Watch, everyone's just gonna, like, after this live, or even right now, they're just gonna run out to Best Buy and like shop the open section, the open box section. I mean, that's what I do. I honestly, like, if I'm just like stuck in like a creative rut, I just like go out for a walk. I go to Best Buy and like look at gears. But yeah, just always peruse around the used section. M Hanvir V. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. He's writing in Chinese, which I can barely read it, but he translated, so thank you. So you're gonna use the 85 f1.8? Yes, sir, I definitely will. Justin Smith, I just picked up the 70-200 f4 from Best Buy last week for $1,100 open box. That is a sweet deal, I think. Yeah, that should be a pretty sweet deal. Oh, you're making good use out of it, Justin. Bo, it's a French name. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Are you in France, Bo? You happen to be in France? Let me know. Might be out there for a wedding gig in something. Someone left me. Oh shoot. Okay, I better double check on that. Some Sony tech reps just tagged me in something on Facebook. I better double check later. Bo, yeah, let me know if you're in France. If you're really out of there in France. Let's see here. Okay, Patrick Chang, how did it compare to the 100mm STF in size? I think it's very similar. The 100 STF is just a little bit slimmer and a little bit longer. Pat Adolfo, isn't the 135 Zeiss $2,000? Yes, I know, it's absolutely insane, but we'll see. The Shockwave 44, Zeiss lenses are terrible for manual focusing for video. Yeah, but here's the thing. I use manual focus a lot. I'm sorry. I use autofocus a lot with the A7R2 and the A6500 anyways. So the Zeiss Batis lenses for autofocus in video are usually really, really good. What's the other one? The Tuit lenses. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but the Zeiss Tuit lenses, which is like the mini Batis lenses for the APS-C ones, they're amazing as well. The only issue is when they autofocus, it makes a noise. It's like the motor noise. And so the Batis, they really nailed it. I think if you watched my Zeiss 18 versus 25mm video, I mentioned that the Batis lenses are pretty much kind of built for hybrid shooting, videos and photos. So yeah. Again, I'm not like banking on the 135 from Zeiss. I'm just very curious about it, so I want to pick it up just to try it. And again, sometimes that curiosity plays in my favor. I try something, I end up really liking it, and I'll keep it, and it'll be part of the production for YouTube, for weddings, for events, and all that good stuff. Let's see here. AR-15, 16 to 35 f4 is always going to be lighter than a 2.8. Yep, for sure. But I did hear the 16 to 35 2.8 is actually pretty light. But I'm hoping this Friday, Samy and Sony might have the 2 wide-angle lenses out there for demo. I want to give it a shot. I want to have it in my hand and see how light it is, or how heavy it is. Chris Barr, Jason, do you use any manual lenses? I don't use any manual lenses, but I do manual focus from time to time. I think if you guys watched my last FAQ video, I did mention as good as the autofocus on the Sony cameras are, sometimes you have to go into manual focus to get the job done. So yeah, but I would say 85 to 90% of the time I'll be on manual focus. Sorry, autofocus. Mario Montero, I also have the 25mm Batis. It's like you said, an awesome lens. Yep, my friend Eric loves that lens. No regret on that purchase. At least I hope not. Steve, no pro support on Zeiss. Ouch, I know, I'm well aware of that. But we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Nothing like living life a little dangerously, right? And I baby my gear, guys. I really do. I'm not like Casey Neistat style where I'm just like trashing my gear. I really baby my gear. So it would break my heart if something drops. Speaking of which, I almost dropped the 70-200 G Master in Las Vegas when I was shooting behind the scenes for Manny, Keedron, and Francisco. Luckily someone caught it. I forgot who, but thank you so much for saving my baby. Let's see here. The RMTP key, AR-15 says the RMTP key is case sensitive. It is. I know it's case sensitive, but I'm looking to put in the address. It only allows me to put in the address, but not the key. So that's the problem right there. I couldn't find the input for the key, so yeah, I couldn't get it to connect. But I'll talk to Jiyun about it. Ziyun, I have to say it right. Ziyun, I'm working with Ziyun right now. I know I've been saying Jiyun a lot, but it's Ziyun. I'm trying to have the right pronunciation for it. Let's see here. Chris Barr, I think the pantry had a better light. You know, I had really good lighting coming from the window, but it's super cloudy here in California right now, which sucks because it's going to be 90 degrees this Saturday and I'll be shooting a wedding. Jeff Murphy, do you use Sony E lenses for FF? What are your thoughts on this? So Jeff, tune into one of my Q&As. I think either the first one or the second one. I didn't really go into details. I'll just tell you right now. If you don't understand the science behind it, don't worry about it. You know, like I use the crop lenses on my A7R II all the time, and there's no issue. I use the full frame lenses on the A6500. If anything, it's sharper on the A6500 because it's shooting in 6K, but in a 4K composition. So you're getting a lot of details retained in the A6500. So yeah, I honestly can't tell the difference myself, so I'm not going to stress over it. Just use the crop on the full frame or use the full frame on the crop. Just depends on yourself. Okay. Let's see here. What's up, Michael? What's up, Michael? Maestro Pierce. Michael Maestro Pierce. MMP. MMP is in the house. Okay, I lost where I am in the chat, so I'm terribly, terribly sorry again. Okay, all right, so yeah, let's do the next 15 minutes open Q&A. So let's just start having questions ready. I'll answer pretty much anything now, aside from the 85 or the Zeiss 135. Martin asks, what do you think of the newly announced 16 to 35 f2.8? Welcome. It's a welcomed lens for sure. I mean, a lot of people are hoping to get that Trinity set, the 16 to 35, 24 to 70, 70 to 200. It's perfect. It's going to be perfect with the A9. So yeah, super welcomed lens for sure. I'm not thinking about getting it. And again, it's that same reason. I love my 18 2.8. It's pretty much the wide angle. It's pretty much the focal length I would use anyway if I were to use the 16 to 35. So I made it work for me, so I like it a lot. A Wiki Zoom. A Wiki says zoom lenses for working, prime lenses are for fun. That indeed. But mainly, I use the prime lenses with a fast aperture with my A7R2 to combat the low light situation. So the A7S2 obviously has way better low light than the A7R2, right? So in order for me to kind of like really maximize my A7R2, I put it in Super 35 mode because it handles the noise a lot better in the higher ISO. But with the faster aperture, it allows me to really even maximize the mileage of the camera. That probably doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean, guys. You know what I mean. AR-15, couldn't you just get decent B-roll with phone? You know what? You're absolutely right, but RX105 is awesome. I love it, man. It's an amazing tiny little camera. No, so my phone, you know, I use my phone to do more social media stuff. So I use it to record the Instagram story. So sometimes the Instagram stories will make it as a B-roll, but you know, and also that pocket-sized camera. Look, the RX105. I don't know. I can't. No matter what I say, it's gonna be hard to justify it. But I know for a fact that it's making my life easier. The fact that the screen can flip up, and when you're vlogging, you can see yourself. I love it. It's great. I've been using the RX105 a lot. And if you've been watching some of my recent videos, some of those shots were mixed in with the RX105. Carlos Gutierrez asked, this video is going to be available later? Yes, yes it is. For 24 hours. It will disappear 1 p.m. tomorrow PST. So 24 hours. Steve, I'm thinking about selling my entire 20K Sony setup and going for the Canon C200. Woo, Steve, you trolling, man. You trolling me. You're leaving Sony, going back to the light side? Kyle Lai says, I'm glad to got the 85 1.8 at my store. Awesome. Oh, Frozone Production. Do we need to be Sony Pro Support registered to take advantage of the Sony camera cleaning on Friday? No, not at all. You don't need to be a member of Sony Pro Support to get your lens cleaned on Friday. That sort of thing is just for them to come out to meet you guys, to really talk to you guys about the service, and to kind of reel you in with free sensor cleaning. So if you have any questions about Sony Pro Support, they're the guys to answer your questions. And they're throwing in some free cleaning stuff. So do it, man. Kit Zan, if you ever got a chance to travel to Hong Kong, they got some sweet prices on Sony lenses. Man, I heard, like, people are telling me, my friend Bob, he was like, I got some amazing prices from Vietnam, Sony Vietnam, and you're telling me about Hong Kong Sony. In Japan, oh my God, I was like, I remember I was in Japan, I bought like 2-3 lenses there. I bought the 16-70 f4 and I bought the 30mm 1.8, and I was this close, literally this close to get the 10-18 f4, just because the used price on those lenses are like insane, and I don't have to pay taxes as a foreigner in Japan. So it was crazy. Like, I got those 2 lenses and had a really sweet deal. And what else? Oh, and you know, Japanese people, they really take care of their gear. So they will sell it, it will look immaculate. And the store that sells them, the store that resells the used stuff, they're very, very particular. Well, at least the one that I go to, Map Camera, they're very, very particular. They will literally tell you there's a small piece of dust that you can't even see inside that lens. That's how thorough they are with their inspections. But if you guys are interested in shopping around the used camera stuff in Japan, check out Japan Camera Hunter. That's where he crafted together a really cool guide about which shops that you should shop at in Japan for used gear. It's pretty cool. But when I was in Japan, Map Camera, I think Map Camera is probably the most trusted one out there. So if you're ever in Shinjuku, go to Map Camera. It's an amazing place. What else is there? But yeah, check out Japan Camera Hunter if you guys are ever gonna want to be in Japan and want to buy used lenses, because he does have not only a detailed guide on where to go, but also some you know, rules, some etiquettes that you might want to be familiar with when you go visit a Japanese store, because Japanese people are all about respect. And if you give them respect, you might get a pretty good deal. Went off complete tangent right there. Brotographer, what's up, man? How's it going, dude? Thoughts on the Canon C200? I'm considering it. I have yet to actually read up on some news on the C200, but I think I read from Matt Workman's status that from Cinematography Database, he's saying he's really considering it for his YouTube stuff. It's like a 4K, I don't know. 4K, I don't know. Am I gonna look this up right now? Oh, let's see. What did he say? What did he say? 4K for YouTube. C-Log is easy to grade as with Lumetri and Resolve. Canon C cameras have great audio preamps, 10 stops of ND internal upgrade, dual AF is solid. Okay, so he's just saying what's good, what's going to be good for him in terms of a YouTube perspective and stuff. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to look it up. I don't really know too much about Canon C200 yet. The view just dropped once I mentioned Canon. That's hilarious. Let's see here. Patrick Chang, doing an engagement shoot for some friends, renting 100 STF so we get to play with it. Awesome, Patrick. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it more than I did, for sure. Let me know. Let's see here. Cowlie, do you use your 24-70 as much? What lens do you use the most? So I do use my 24-70 like a lot. Every time there's a wedding gig, that's a lens that Eric, my friend, tells me to bring. He's just like, bring your 24-70. And I was like, no, it's heavy. Bring your 24-70. I was like, ah. So there's a love and hate relationship going on with me with the 24-70, but honestly, it's a great lens. I can't deny that it's super helpful in a run and gun situation. So 24-70 G Master is one of my most used lens. The 18mm Batis, the 55-1.8. So 24-70, 55-1.8, 18mm Batis, 24-1.8, and 30mm the 3.5 macro. Those would be the 5 lenses I've been using a lot in terms of YouTube and wedding work. Rebecca James, ever used a 28mm FE lens? What do you think of it? I personally haven't used it. I was thinking about getting it, but it's not bad for the price and for the focal length that you're getting. Pretty solid lens. Let's see here. Eric Linguist, I pray Sony releases the 35-1.4 Art as a native FE lens if they can match or be better than the Sony Zeiss equivalent for less than $1,000. I'm all in. What lens would you want from Sigma? Yeah, if they're gonna make something like the 35-1.4 to match the Zeiss and native E mount, I'm thinking about getting it myself. But in terms of what lens would I want from Sigma, hard to say, because I already owned a majority of the focal length, aside from, you know, the crazy ones like the from 200 and beyond. I don't have any of that, but because I don't need it, everything that's kind of in between 8 to, I don't even have an 8, but 16 to 200, I have most of those lenses or lenses that cover that range already. So there's not really much. I don't know. I wouldn't even know what to ask for from Sigma, but we'll see. I think I think it will be more reliant on the aperture for sure. The photographer, I dropped the Zeiss 18 Batis and it survived. It was on carpet from about 5 feet. Woo! My heart just dropped when you mentioned it. Woo! Hey, Michael. What's up? Yeah, if you just rewatch the live later, and I'll talk about it for sure. I just want to get through some questions right now. Okay. Let me just. Oh shoot! I lost where I am again. This is dumb. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Hi, Select Media. Man, I just wanted to say your channel has been a blessing coming over from the GH4 to the Sony A-series camera. I truly appreciate your help. You're welcome, man. As a fellow hybrid shooter of the GH4, coming from the GH4, yeah, definitely. Which, by the way, GH4, great camera. I like how I talked about the GH5 in one of my videos, and man, that dislike bar, half and half, man. Woo. Ever since then, I'm like I'm a little bit, I hold back a little bit talking about other brands. Look what, I mentioned Panasonic, boom, five views just dropped. Jeff, 90 millimeter G still on your favorite lens. Have you found a replacement in your bag? So Jeff, I don't have the 90 millimeter macro. We were actually borrowing it. Eric was borrowing it from a friend. So we've been shooting some of the wedding stuff with the 90 millimeter macro, but his friend took it back. So we're looking to get a 90 millimeter replacement. So either he's gonna get the 90 millimeter again, or maybe even the 50 millimeter macro. I personally use the 30 millimeter 3.5 macro. I mean, it's not gonna have that reach like the 90, but it's okay. I mean, for what I do, I take pictures of stills. I mean, still stuff, still objects. I'm not gonna be shooting bees. I'm terrified of bees. I'm terrified of wasps. So I don't shoot any bug stuff. So I don't need that 90 millimeter macro. The 30 millimeter 3.5 honestly is good enough for me. And I would if I had made that video, my recommended A6500 lenses, the 30 millimeter 3.5 is actually rated pretty highly in my books. It's an amazing lens. If you want to get into macro photography, the 30 millimeter 3.5 is something really awesome to take a look at. Pat, have you ever shot film before? Film is not really my thing. I can't really do that kind of like production set kind of stuff, but I have in college, you know, helping my friends shoot. I've also been a PA on a few production sets, so I have done that kind of stuff before. But for me, I like keeping it easy, keeping it casual, keeping it easy. That's why I really love YouTube a lot. I also, and I enjoy shooting weddings. You know, it's just like, you know, I think I just like to let the camera roll and let the action happen, you know, instead of like me trying to direct something. It's easier for me to shoot, just to capture moments instead of creating moments. That makes sense. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I don't mind if I have a lot of friends in film, so I don't ever mind if they ever ask me to volunteer or not, yeah, volunteer my time to be a PA or just help out on set. I sometimes am the assistant camera on set, so yeah, definitely, I've definitely worked on film sets before. And maybe a story for another time, but that's how me and Vivian met. We actually met on set. Our friends were shooting something. They're not shooting their film thesis, they were shooting something. And they got grant money for it that funded their production. So yeah, I'll just tell it later. Maybe I'll make a separate live for that. But we met on set. That's the gist of it. David Oster, what's up, man? How's it going? P&A SLR Studios, where is the Sony Pro support going to be at this Friday time? They're going to be at, if you're in LA, they're going to be at Samy's Fairfax location. It's for the A9 launch event. If you look at my description box below, you'll see, well, it's a meetup with me and that one camera guy. You can come meet us at the Sony event. So both me and Danny are attending the Sony launch day, Sony A9 launch day. I'm not sure how receptive they're going to be of Danny, but we're going to be there. And Sony Pro support will be there as well. So look in the description box and click on the event link, the Facebook event link, and there should be a little picture that tells you when and the specific address and the time. But Sony Pro support will be there all day. What's up, John Mark? How's it going, man? See you tomorrow. Oh, wait, no, tomorrow's Thursday. See you Friday. Steve, QA, do you use any lens support with the 24-70? Always feel like it's stressing the mount. No, I don't know. I think we mentioned this in our live too. It's just I've never am concerned about that lens just ripping off from the mount. It's pretty solid. No one has reported it yet, I think, unless someone has, but yeah, nothing to worry about for sure. Oh, if I come closer, it brightens up. Um, oh my goodness, where did I? Okay, here we go. Okay. P&A SLR Studios says the Sony 28 f2 is by far the fastest and sharpest lens you can get for the money. My 2 cents. Awesome. That's what, yeah, I can completely agree. Chantel Wong, what do you think of the 18-105 f4? I mentioned this yesterday. I don't have it, but a lot of people vouch for the 18-105. I feel like if you're either 16-70 f4 or you're 18-105 f4. So both lenses are great. Both lenses have their advantage. The 18-105, I'm not a big fan of the power zoom. I hate power zoom. I like to physically zoom by twisting the ring. That's just me. That's why I like the 16-70 Zeiss. But the 18-105 obviously has its advantage if you are mounting it on a gimbal. If you're mounting that with the A6500 on a June crane or something, when you can be flexible. You can zoom in and zoom out without changing the balance of the setup. So Brandon Lee, the filmmaker, he's very popular on Vimeo. Check out some of his work. He uses the 18-105 with the 6300, I believe, and the Jiyun crane, Ziyun crane, and he has some amazing results with it. So he made it work for him. I'm a fan of the 16-70, so it's either or for you. QA, if you had to choose between the two, would you get the 30mm 3.5 macro or the 35-1.8? Both for Sony. I go for the macro, just because I already have the other lenses that kind of fills the void of the 35-1.8. Having that closer focusing distance with the 30mm is obviously going to be more fit for my work. Armando Rodriguez, hola. I can't read Spanish. So I'm terribly sorry about that. Jason Malihan, what's your website? So if you go to jasonvong.com, it just links you to the YouTube. I don't have a website, but if you want to check out the wedding work, again, escmedia.co, escmedia.co. That's where we post all of our wedding stuff. We got 3 that we still need to upload, which is kind of my fault. I need to export them and upload them. Speaking of which, I slayed the highlight yesterday. So I finished the highlight and a documentary edit for the wedding that I did, which it's a story that I also need to share with you guys. The wedding that will never be published, the worst wedding. But that's probably for another live. I'm thinking about maybe doing live more frequently. Maybe like a solo live where I just kind of like talk about stuff. Yeah. So there'll be a Monday live with me and Danny. That's where we kind of like go back and forth. And then maybe like a Wednesday. The reason why I don't really do it on Wednesday was because Craig was doing Wedding Film School Wednesday lives, and I want to watch that instead of doing my own live. But I haven't seen him do it recently, so maybe I'll take over. I don't know. All right. A lot of things I can't read right now. Oh, Pat, by film, I mean film photography. No, I'm too millennial for that. I'm born in the digital era, so I'm not really born in the digital era, but I was born in the making of the digital era. So unfortunately, by the time I got into photography, film is not. I'm not saying film is dead, but more like digital. Yeah, like I'm just been so accustomed to digital. I don't know. I don't want to be. If I do film photography, it'll be just probably for fun. Okay, let's see here. Samir, Zeiss 16-70 f4 or Zeiss 24-70 f4? Which would you choose? This is like an FAQ Friday right here, guys. This is seriously an FAQ Friday. Maybe I should do an FAQ Friday live. Maybe I should start doing it live. Samir, both lenses. The 16-70 is APS-C crop, and the 24-70 f4 is a full frame. So really do keep that in mind. With that said, the Zeiss 16-70 is a 24-105 equivalent. So if you have a camera, let's say you have the A7R II, you can take advantage of it because it can shoot Super 35. Let's see. I don't know. In terms of image quality, I don't know because I haven't really tested it out myself. But Um, hmm. I would say for me, since I have the 6500, or if you just have the 6500, go for the 16 to 70 just because of the form factor. That would be me. Ryan X78, getting my first camera today because of your video, A7R2 with 35.4. Thanks, Jason. No problem, man. Dope setup right there. Dope setup. Steve, any updates on Danny and Sony Pro support? There is, but I'm gonna let him share it because that's his thing, and I don't want to be like saying anything, like exposing any updates. So I'll let him give you guys an update on his channel and in this video, and maybe the next Monday Night Live. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe to That One Camera Guy. He's causing up a ruckus, man. He made it on the Petapixel, f-stoppers. Holy cow. Danny is just blowing up right now. AR15, Jason, when filming in 1080p, is the A7R2 better in Super 35 mode or full frame? Ooh, I don't know. That's tough to say because I don't really shoot 1080p on the A7R2 as often anymore, so I can't really give you a definite answer. But again, people are saying shooting in Super 35 mode has an advantage on the A7R2. I think it's like a tad bit sharper, better in low light, and less rolling shutter. Unconfirmed. If someone can help me out, that would be greatly appreciated. But for me, I shoot mostly full frame with my A7R2 anyway, regardless. The only time I would switch to Super 35 mode is if I slap on my 70 to 200 or the 24 to 70. I don't have enough range in the moment. Switch to Super 35 mode, get that extra reach. Chris Barr, why not get the FS7 to up your game by 10G? Someday, Chris. Like I mentioned yesterday's live, one day, I don't know, can't say. I mean, it's nice to have, but it's nice to have, but not something that I really need right now. But it'd be pretty dope. So, my vision is to have like a film studio, like how MKBHD has one, TLD has one, Casey Neistat has one. That's like a dream, man, to have like a studio where you can just go and shoot at and just like have your gears all laid out. Maybe someday if I get to that level, or even if I do get to that level, maybe I'll get the FS7 just to shoot videos for fun, or the red cameras or whatever. I don't know. This is just all crazy talk right now, but really just focus on the moment now, just to really get the YouTube channel to be as awesome as it can possibly be. And I like shooting with the smaller cameras. Ivan Tan, you really have a YOLO life. I wish I can live like that. No specific plan on buying your gear. Keep buying, always selling back. I feel bad for your future wife though. So Ivan, like I think, was it yesterday? Actually, no. I don't think I mentioned this in the live, but I mentioned it in I was talking to one of my subscribers that I met up last week. I know people, I'm friends with people on Facebook that I don't necessarily have met in real life yet, but because of all the YouTube stuff and just networking here and there, I see, there's other people that are kind of crazier than me. They buy and they sell, they buy and they sell, they buy and they sell. They turn their lenses and camera way faster than me. I'm actually a very slow poke, like this, I thought about selling it for like a couple weeks now, and I still haven't done it yet because I'm just like, oh, well, what if I need that 1.4 aperture? This would be nice to have. It's really hard for me to part with my stuff because one, I get really sentimental with things. I'm just like, well, this is the lens that I shot my first graduation with, or the A7R2. I can just never fathom selling my A7R2. I mean, logically, it would make sense to help fund for the next camera, but the A7R2 is what started this YouTube channel. It's where it got me. It's what you guys are watching right now. So it's like, if I sell it, I feel like I'm a heartless monster. So I do get very sentimental with the gears that I own. The Zeiss 35 was honestly something really hard for me to part with. So yeah, I don't know. It just got deep right there. Alex Sandova, hey Jason, how long will you guys be at Sammy's camera? I'm not work off till 1:30 and can't make it until 3 since I'm in Ventura County. So Alex, we're gonna go to Cinegear Expo. So I honestly can't say for sure. Me and Danny are super disorganized about this. So We'll see. If you're on Instagram, just follow the Instagram story and do the RS. Best case scenario is just to be following the Instagram story. I'll keep you guys updated where we're at, because we're gonna go to Cinegear Expo after a certain time. So we'll be there from 10 to 12, and then from 12 to like maybe 1:30, we'll eat lunch. We'll eat lunch somewhere, and then I don't know, just depending on how things work out, we might just either go back to Sammy's camera or we will go to Cinegear Expo. So we'll see. Definitely stay tuned on this Instagram story. Chris Barr, the 18-105 has a zoom ring too. Oh, okay. Good to know. I didn't know that. I do apologize for that misinformation then. So, but even if you use the zoom ring, it doesn't protrude out, does it? It just like still digitally zoom, or not digitally zoom, sorry, but it'll focus. It will zoom. I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like, it will still kind of zoom pretty slow, right? With the zoom ring. I don't know. Let me know. Okay, Nick, is f4 good enough for indoor stuff for weddings though? I can't decide between getting the 24-70 f2.8. Your experience. It just really depends on the lighting situation, man. Are you talking about videos or photos? Because for videos, I'm more experienced with the wedding stuff with the videos. If you have the A7S too, you can really make the f4 work out for you. But if it's super bright inside a church, I honestly don't shoot at 2.8 with the 24-70. I would just, or the 70-200, I would just go f4 just to make sure my subject's in focus if there's enough light. Again, I take the 2.8 aperture as more of a what I can do with to really just give me more light than bokeh. So that's how I think of the 2.8 versus the f4. So I wouldn't, if you're working in bright conditions, like let's say the last wedding that, not the last one, the 2 weddings ago that I shot has really bright lights. I don't know if you guys caught the Instagram story, but it was super bright lights. I was shooting f4. I wasn't shooting 2.8. So it just really depends on the situation. The Fate Factory made it to the stream late. Why are we selling the 85? I'm sorry, man. Catch the live later, the post live later if you want to. It'll be up until 1 p.m. tomorrow. I'm just trying to get through some of the questions right now. Zoom Chris, hey man, I'll give you the 55 and the 85-1.8 for the 85-1.4. No thanks, man. I already have those 2 lenses. I have those 2 lenses. Zoom, I can't. I don't need another one. I don't need duplicates. Okay. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. BJJBbo. I want to use a few monitor for stills. Where and how can I mount it? I want to leave the hot shoe alone because I use it for putting my flash trigger. Any advice? That might be tough. Look into the small HD focus and see if, yeah, I think the small HD focus has another, oh no, you have to leave the hot shoe alone for the flash trigger, right? Ooh. That's a tough question. Message me again, let me think about it, and I'll get back to you. But that's tough. Either you, if someone can help me out, that'd be great, because I have no idea. And this is really surprising to me because I have a lot of people asking me, like, they want to use a field monitor for their photos, and you know, to me, I've always been, you know, like, oh, the field monitor is more for like videos. But it's interesting how some of you guys want to use it for stills as well. Okay, AR15 says, more rolling shutter in the Super 35. I can't figure out why, whether or not it's in Super 35 on Tandy. Thanks, Jason. No problem, man. Super 35 on the A7R2 is a big difference in quality and better low light for sure from the Fate Factory. Okay, Pat, have you ever thought about getting a capture card so you can use your Sony as a really awesome webcam? If you guys caught me like 2 months ago, I was using the Elgato capture card. Unfortunately, it doesn't work fully with my MacBook. It only works with my PC, but the thing is, like, I do most of the live stuff with my MacBook, so it just didn't work out fully. And Danny's saying he might give me his Blackmagic one. So we'll see how that works. But yeah, I'm really tired of the webcam quality myself. I honestly, I don't like, I hate how the exposure is like off, and it just looks so ugly, so ugly. But I don't know. Do I need it? Do I need it? That's just more to set up. I think the information that I'm giving out to you guys is probably way more useful than seeing my pretty face. I don't have a pretty face. I have a giant pimple right here. We should start doing the lives where you just don't see our faces and just being able to listen to the audio. What do they call that? A podcast. Let's see here. Okay, the Fate Factory. Where's the best place to sell used gear, like high-priced lenses or bodies? eBay, Amazon, the boss. Wifey says I need to sell some old gear before getting some new ones. Honestly, man, you want some quick turnaround? Use Craigslist. Just be safe about it. Just always be safe on Craigslist. But eBay is probably the safest, I would say, just because you're not dealing with any crazy person in person. But just remember that eBay and PayPal does take a chunk of that money, so I would say watch out for that. But for me, I try to avoid the eBay and PayPal fees, so I just sell it locally. Just be safe. Honestly, just be safe about it. Steve, you got a lot of gas today, Jason, and I'm not talking about the gear kind. This latte, man, is killing me. I think I'm becoming lactose intolerant, so the milk is kind of like any sort of milk will wreck me. Okay, Lori, Jason, just like the 35mm, you will learn to love it all over again. Anyways, what is your favorite lens and for what reason? I don't know. I can't really give you one favorite lens, but the lenses that I use often, again, is the 18mm, the 55-1.8. Yeah, those are the two most used lenses that I use for the YouTube stuff. And for weddings, throw on the 24-70 as well. Those would be my 3 most used lenses for full frame. For APS-C is the 24mm 1.8. Michael, I'm selling my A7R II. No, yes, need another A9. I'm only burning hot cameras. The A7R II wasn't hot enough for me. Okay, here's another crazy idea that I was having. This is probably never gonna happen. But I was like thinking of selling my A6500 and get the Sony A9. I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking. That's just a small little thought in my brain right now. I'm just like, well, I don't really need a 6500. Maybe I can use the money and get the A9. Crazy talk right now. Crazy talk, I'm telling you. This is the mind of a gas person. I don't know. You should share some of your stories and how your thought process on getting new gears. I'm pretty sure it's very similar. Oh man, it's already 1:03. I wasn't supposed to be on this long. I stayed like an extra 15 minutes already. But you guys are awesome. You guys are dope. I'm gonna run through a few more and I'll call it a day. All right. So let's see here. Chris Barr just confirmed. Yep, the zoom ring is much faster than the slider. The slider is dramatically slow, but still all zoom by wire. Chris, that is good to know. I will, from now on, make sure to mention the zoom ring whenever I'm talking about the 18-105 f4. Good to know. Let's see here. Pat, I've seen Manny use a field monitor on the hot shoe of the flash trigger. Yeah, so I recommended that to him. He's using the Atomos Ninja 2. He uses that to record the back of his screen. So that's how we do it. Secrets out. That's how we record the back of our screen, guys. Atomos Ninja 2. He hates it. I hate it. It's the most outdated monitor out there, but we don't want to spend too much money on it. We don't want to spend too much money for the higher end Atomos to record our camera screen. So that's why there's the Ninja 2. But I have the Atomos Ninja Flame now, of course. Okay, Valencare says, I'm waiting for either the 135 1.8 G Master or the Zeiss E mount. The 85mm is just not my cup of tea. Any chance we will get to see it? Valencare, again, my prediction is as good as the weatherman on the weatherman forecast. I don't know when or if they're going to release the 135 1.8 anytime soon, but you never know. You never know. Laurie, I know that you have so much gas that's easy to get confused. I'm thinking about getting the FE 50 millimeter 1.4. What do you think? If you think you really need that 1.4, I say go for it. But honestly, the 55-1.8 is amazing. It is amazing. Alex says, I'm just hoping Sigma releases an FE 85.8 light and like the Sony 85.8. I'm curious, why do you think that? Why would you want that, Alex? Is it because you think it might be cheaper with the Sigma? Probably, but I think right now the 85 1.8 Sony is pretty darn good. So if I don't know, I can't predict what Sigma is going to do either, but I'm thinking, I don't know, they could, but there's just so much 50 millimeters and 85s out there that there's just too much of that option. So we'll see. Zoom Chris, Jay, how much for that 85-1.4 if you already divulged the price? Sorry, just came in. I honestly don't know yet, but I'm hoping to sell it for $1,500 to $1,600. But we'll see. We'll see. Oh, Greg Thurl says A6500 is pretty close to the A9 in many ways. It indeed is. Yeah. It is. No, Greg, stop, man. You just stop feeding into this, man. I'm gonna get the A9. I'm gonna sell the A6500 and get the A9. Don't do it. Don't give me some crazy ideas, man. Oh man, it's bad. Greg, I hate you, dude. Randall says, I don't think for what you do, the A9 would be good. Well, it would be an overkill. Randall, yep, you were right, man. That's why I didn't pre-order the A9, because I know it's not for me. But the gas is talking, man. The gas is talking right now. The Fake Factory, thanks. So with Craigslist, you haven't had any issues with large sales? It's scary to trade off 1K to 2K in person. No, yeah, I can feel you on that. I always get worried that someone's gonna pass me off like a fake bill or something, or I just get jumped. And I hate it when people give me like so much $20 bills that I have to like count in the parking lot. I'm like, why don't you just walk inside to the bank and just ask for hundreds? Why do you have to like go to the ATM and cash out $1,000? It's I don't know. It's definitely scary. Just be safe. Really screen your guy. Try to screen your guy. I don't know. Sometimes if I go with your gut feeling. If this person already comes off as weird via email, just don't even bother. Like, it's never worth it. If you already have a gut feeling about this rando being really weird, like, I don't know, just don't even bother. Don't even sell it to him. Just find another person to sell it. It doesn't matter. Your safety is always the most important thing. So if you already have a bad feeling about this guy, don't do it. Nope. Okay. Arnold, has Peak Design contacted you about being part of the Mountaineer program? What the heck is a Mountaineer program? That sounds dope, though. No, they have not contacted me. I spoke to the Peak Design guys before. They don't know me at the time, but I spoke with them in Japan at CP Plus. Really dope guys. They gave my friend Bob, who lives in Japan, a free capture clip. Like literally, we just walked them and talked to them. They don't know anything about me, and they were just like, and they don't know anything about him. We just two random guys to them, and they gave him a free capture clip, and I was like, how come I don't get the capture clip, man? What the heck? But really cool guys. They gave me a t-shirt though. Michael, listen to me, Jason. The A9 is the best camera for AF speed and 4K video. It's great too, bro. Get the A9, bro. No joke. All right. Hate you guys. You guys are feeding me negative nonsense. You guys are feeding me nonsense right now. Next slide. Selling my A6500 for the A9. Trin Win, ever come down to the Orange County? Dude, bro, I'm always in Orange County, man. Most of our weddings is in Orange County. In fact, I'll be in Orange County this Saturday for that wedding. David Johnson, thanks for the live. You're awesome. I don't know what you say. I was just imprompting. Okay, I think I'm getting close. I think I'm getting close to all the questions, so we'll probably end it pretty soon. Let's see here. Chris Smart, A6500 has profiles for video. The A9 full frame 24 megapixel plus no S-Log profiles. Nope. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty bummed that they don't have S-Log. I'll be okay if they didn't include S-Log, but if they at least have the other picture profiles, that would be awesome. I know Garrett from Gear Glasses and Gadgets were like, yeah, we don't shoot S-Log either, but at least include the picture profiles. So I hope Sony does. I hope Sony does. It would make the A9 even more amazing if they have the S-Log profiles. So I definitely do want the S-Log in the A9. Or not, sorry, not S-Log, but the other picture profiles, because I do shoot in picture profile 1 a lot. But I think Gear Glasses and Gadgets, they'll be shooting a wedding this weekend with the A9. So I'm waiting for them to report back and see what profiles work out for them. So yeah. The Rat channel. I've done some big Craigslist deal. It's all about bringing a buddy with you to count and verify the money while you deal with person teamwork. That's actually very smart, Rat. I didn't even think about it. I sometimes go solo, and I'm just like, what am I doing? There's time where I've done Craigslist. I wasn't even selling something. I was buying something, and I was taken inside some guy's apartment, and I was like freaking out. Like he came. It was in LA, and it wasn't a decent part of LA at least. But I showed up to this guy's door, and then he was just like, "Yo, you Jason?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he was like, "All right, come on in." And I was just like, "What's going on?" I'm just following this random guy I don't even know down the hallway and into his room, and I was just like, I'm gonna die here. And I walked into like a bunch of dudes just editing videos, because I'm guessing they're film guys, obviously, because they live in like Hollywood. So he was like, I just walked into like a pretty much an editing room, and he brought out the one of the Wacom tablets that I was gonna buy. So yeah, what an experience that was. Like, I don't know. Just be safe. I was kind of dumb. I shouldn't have followed him inside. I should have just like waited out the door for him to bring out the tablet. I don't know why he invited me into the place. He could have just like literally bought the Wacom tablet out for me. I don't know. Okay. Great info. I'll give Craigslist a shot. All right, Samuel. Take care, bro. Awesome. Thanks so much. Thanks, guys. Michael Pierce, I'll let you know. I'll let you use the A9, JV. We can talk Friday. You can spend a week with it or so, and you'll never turn back. Awesome, Michael. Bring your A9. We're gonna do some overheating tests with Danny's A9 and your A9. Chris Mega Games, what do you recommend for the most affordable studio lights for YouTube videos? I recommend the Viltrox. I forgot the exact model name, but Chris, message me later, and I'll give you the specific model that I personally use. Awesome. I think, yeah, I pretty much, let's see, I think I pretty much got through it. So guys, thank you guys so much. I stayed on an extra 30 minutes longer than I said I would. This always happens. I don't know why, but hopefully you guys enjoy it. For those of you who missed why I am selling my 85 1.8, definitely rewatch the post live. It'll be up for 24 hours. It'll be gone 1 p.m. PST tomorrow. So yeah, just quickly, not tomorrow, I keep thinking tomorrow's Friday. When you don't have an actual job to go into, you lose track of days. Every day is a work day for you. So I don't know what day of the week it is. I think it's a Wednesday. But this Friday, we'll have a meetup with me and that one camera guy at Samy's at Fairfax, Los Angeles. I know I've been repeating this a lot, but I definitely do want you guys to show up so we can meet you guys. Thank you guys for the support in person. Hang out, have fun. We're gonna do lunch as well at 12 o'clock. So we'll start the meetup at 10, eat lunch at 12, and head to Cinegear Expo afterwards if you guys wanna join us for some Cinegear Expo fun. Thanks for watching, guys. I will do more of these lives, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.